Oh, hey there. This is Attempting International Recipes, and in this episode, we're making Brazilian cheese bread. Now, when I think of Brazilian food, I usually think of like one of those Brazilian grill restaurants where they walk around with the giant spears of meat, handing it out to you in an all-you-can-eat fashion. That's the only Brazilian restaurant I've ever actually been to. And shockingly, I've never had Brazilian cheese bread at one of those restaurants. And I always forget to say this. The whole point of this series is that I am not a professional chef, I'm just a regular cook traveling the world from my kitchen. There will be fails, there will be successes, but most importantly, we'll try some new food and, maybe like it. I have lately been hearing a ton about Brazilian cheese bread. It kind of seems like it's one of those like viral foods that's really taken off lately. I also think Brazilian food is one of the hardest cuisines to get in a lot of different parts of the US. Now, I'm in Colorado, so it's, Western US, not coastal. There's just not a lot of Brazilian restaurants in here. I'm sure if you went to New York or LA, there's probably a decent amount of Brazilian restaurants. I'm excited to explore this cuisine though, because I really have not had a lot of it. And just going off how viral Brazilian cheese bread has been lately, when I searched to get this recipe, all of the blogs that came up and all of the websites that came up with Brazilian cheese bread were US-based websites. And for attempting international recipes, I like to find a blog actually based in the country the food is from, because you can get, for example, the Swedish princess cake, there was like a Martha Stewart recipe, there was a Great British Bake Off recipe, there was like, there were all these recipes that were not actually from Sweden. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a reliable recipe, if it's from, I don't know, Bon Appetit magazine. Yeah, that's probably a tested recipe. I do want one that's actually from the country though when attempting these in the kitchen. I actually had to search a while to find a Brazilian chef making one. And so I did eventually, after I searched Brazilian cheese bread, Brazilian recipe, find someone who has a food blog who is Brazilian, and the whole blog is about Brazilian cuisine. I got this off of Brazilian Kitchen Abroad, and the woman who runs this is actually Brazilian. She says, my name is Aline. I think I'm saying it right. She has it phonetically spelled. She says, my name is Aline. Let me know if that is not how you say her name. And it rhymes with fettuccine. Aline Fettuccine. I think I'm saying it right. I am the do-it-all Brazilian Kitchen Abroad, my little corner of the internet where I help folks from all over easily make delicious food that's packed with Brazilian flavors. It actually took me a while to find one of these recipes that was from a Brazilian, but I actually found one and I'm very excited to have found Brazilian Kitchen Abroad. The recipes on here look amazing, and it's definitely more than just what, Americans typically think of with like Redugios and those like Brazilian grills with all the meat on the knives and stuff. There's a lot more to Brazilian cuisine, and she's got quite a few recipes. I think I'll probably end up making more from this website eventually. But for today, we are trying out Brazilian cheese bread, and the actual name of it in Portuguese is pão de queijo. I'm gonna actually look this up because it's very similar to how queso is spelled in Spanish, but I am not sure how Portuguese pronounces that.
Pão de queijo. Pão de queijo.
Pão de queijo. Okay, it is not like queso. Pão de queijo. The J in it kind of does kind of similar to how a French J, I guess, would be pronounced. Pão de queijo. All right, and that's why we Google it. We're making pão de queijo bread today. One interesting thing about this bread is I do think it's technically gluten-free because it's using tapioca flour. Don't quote me on that. Double check if you're like celiac or something that it's actually something you could eat. But I think it could at least be adapted to be fully gluten-free. I don't know about like contamination with cheese and stuff. First things first, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 1's always the easiest in these recipes. I love just hitting buttons on the oven and feeling accomplished. Add the tapioca flour, salt in a large bowl, whisk to combine and set aside. You know, it's funny, salt and sugar tend to be the two things I forget the most in recipes on this series, and so I'm like anal about putting the salt right in front of me now, and the same with the sugar. Like, it's the ingredient that's right in front of me, because I always forget. Your dog is about to try and come through this damn window. No. No. Go away. I love you, but you cannot come through this window. Go, go. Go. It's not the first time they've tried to do that. They're the stars of the show. If you ever watch in the background, usually one of them is on the counter stealing something. 1 pound of tapioca flour. And it is, in fact, gluten-free and making a dust cloud. Hopefully that's okay to inhale. Jeez. 2 teaspoons kosher salt. All right, we're just gonna kind of mix this together, combine. It's very easy to send this flour everywhere. It's kind of like, I think it's finer than normal flour. So it's like, it's honestly kind of like chalk. I feel like a gymnast on the Olympics, like when we dip my hands in that, get right on, go on the uneven bars. And then in a medium bowl, combine the cheeses, the egg, and set aside. I'd love to know more about the origin of this dish, because Parmesan cheese is definitely an imported ingredient, I would think, to Brazil. I could be wrong. All right, 1 cup grated Parmesan. I tried not to pack it too much, but you have to like level it. It's my constant issue. I think I need a bigger bowl. And I think I'm supposed to crumble this. Am I supposed to like finely crumble it? Just crumbled. It's a lot of cheese to crumble. Queso fresco has to be one of my all-time favorite types of cheeses. And I'll take this moment to point out that I'm not wearing a Brazilian apron. I don't have a Brazilian apron. Now I feel like I need to go to Brazil and just get an apron, because I just had to put on like the classic apron we have in the house. This is the plain basic one. My mom said she got it as a wedding gift. It has lasted forever, so I guess it's a family heirloom apron that I'm wearing today, but I don't have a Brazilian apron. And I think a Brazilian apron would be gorgeous, because I always think of bold, big tropical prints when I think of like Brazilian clothes. I need a Brazilian apron. 2 fresh eggs from my chickens. All right, I've got a big spoon. All right, this is looking good and combined. For this next part, I need to put milk and oil into a saucepan. I'll go ahead and measure that over here. Got this right, 1 cup full fat milk. And then 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Awesome. We're gonna go over to the stove and bring this to a simmer. All right, we're over here at the stove. Let's go ahead and bring this to a simmer. So they say it should be simmering. I'm taking this that I should see some bubbles coming up, but not like a rolling boil. I'm always scared about heating milk up, that I'm gonna like essentially make cheese on accident and like separate it out and then have some lumpy, nasty mess that I'll still end up eating and trying on camera, because I refuse to lose with this stuff. I'm seeing bigger bubbles now. Okay. I think it's simmering. I see like ones around the sides. If I stick my finger in, am I gonna regret it? Okay, that's pretty warm. It's not like burning my finger, but I think we're ready. I have my simmered oil and milk mixture. I'm gonna give it a stir. It says pour in immediately. This recipe also warns it says something about it's gonna be clumpy, and it's gonna be clumpy for a while. When the liquid simmers, remove the pan from the heat, immediately pour into the tapioca mixture, and using a wooden spoon, stir to combine. The mixture will not be homogeneous, it'll be gummy and clumpy. See step-by-step images for reference. All right. We have combined this. It's also supposed to like cool for a while. Wait 5 to 10 minutes until the tapioca mixture is cool to the touch. Then and only then add it to the cheese mixture. Mix with a wooden spoon or your hands to combine. Now you should have a homogeneous dough mixture and it should come together as a ball. You still may see some white tapioca specks in the dough. Don't worry, that's totally normal. So this is actually, it's pretty warm still. I'm assuming it doesn't want to melt the cheese or cook the egg. I'm gonna give it another couple minutes. I think I've let this cool enough, to be honest. We're gonna combine them. And I'm gonna pick the wrong day to wear a long sleeve black shirt with this like chalky dough. I think I'm gonna put this into this bowl. Okay. I'm a little nervous because I like squeeze this dough and it's definitely warm on the inside still. I'm a little worried, but oh well. This is attempting international recipes and there can be fails. All right, this is like a homogeneous dough. Like they were saying, it doesn't look like anything's melted or eggs cooked. It's kind of like, it looks like the inside of a deviled egg. I'm also seeing why, in the next step, I think they tell you to oil your hands because it is kind of sticky. Holy that's good. It's like a sophisticated mozzarella stick. I'm gonna go wash my hands before I touch the rest of this. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't eat raw dough. Also, it's very sticky and would have been impossible to get off if I hadn't just licked it off. Alrighty. I'm supposed to oil my hands up a bit. And it says like about 2 tablespoon balls and then about 2 inches apart. This would be a great, like, if you're going to a cocktail party or something, or you're having a Christmas party and you need little, like, I don't know, you need something that's easier than cheese straw to make. You need, like, an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre. These would be great for that. Alrighty. All done with the last batch. This does make quite a few. I think I did make 30 to like 35-ish, somewhere in there. And now we wait. This is the hardest part of baking. I haven't set a timer. How long? Alexa, set a timer for 23 minutes.
23 minutes, starting now.
I've been recording for 17. This always happens. I'm not a professional chef. I forgot to set a timer. I'm looking at how long the camera's been recording and it says 7 minutes. We'll find out. All right, I've got 1 minute. Alexa off. I've got hardly any time left on my timer and I am so excited to try these. The entire house smells like baked Parmesan. It's amazing. So let's get them out. I think I set, so I forgot to set a timer, I'll be honest. I looked at how long the camera was recording and thought I had like 23-ish more minutes to do. We'll find out. Do you see that? I wish smell-o-vision was a thing. Oh. No, 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 no. The dogs have been dying to get these and they will burn themselves just to get this. I absolutely am not waiting to have one of these. They're done. They're safe from a food safety standpoint. I'm eating one. It might be like molten lava on the inside, but they smell too good to not. Do you hear that? They kind of sound like hollowy. Shut up. That is by far one of the tastiest things I've ever eaten in my life. It's amazing because it is crunchy on the outside and then the inside will like do a cheese pull kind of. You gotta try and make these. This is like, you have to try and make these. You can't live without these. These are amazing. So it really has that like gummy texture here. I hope you can see that. It really has that gummy, yummy texture that something made with tapioca will have, but it all tastes like cheese. This is the best thing I've made on this channel so far. It's gonna be really hard to top. Like, really hard to top. I'm gonna show you the inside of this again. I feel like potentially mine could have gotten a little bit more height, but do you see? Oh, this is hot. Do you see the inside of that? Oh. That is too good. Words actually cannot describe how delicious these are. We'll see if we ever top this on attempting international recipes. I don't know if we can. I'll be honest. Recommend recipes that you think can top this in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe to the Fruit Salad Social YouTube channel for more travel, spooky, international content, and more delicious recipes, more than anything. Oh my god. Bye.